We've just got an update on the Canon C50 cinema camera with some new specifications that might just be a deal breaker for you. And if it is, then you might want to consider the Nikon ZR, being announced the day after Canon's C50, Nikon's first hybrid cinema camera to feature red technology. This is a must-watch video if you like to see Canon and Nikon go at it. But first, subscribe. It means more to us than Canon Log 2 does to a colorist. While talking about the Canon EOS C50 on his YouTube channel, Andrea Pizzini confirmed several specifications, while also offering some new ones. The Canon C50 can do Opengate, something that Sony still can't do. But I heard one spec that's a bit surprising. Disappointing. The camera will have no integrated IBIS system on the C50. This isn't a big surprise to cinema shooters, directors of photography, but it will turn off some, as it did with the Canon EOS R5C. It also didn't have IBIS. Will this be a showstopper for you? The Canon C50 not having IBIS, but having Opengate. It's kind of a bit of a balance, isn't it? Now, if you're through and through a Canon shooter, then I really recommend taking another look at the Canon EOS R5 Mark II. I've been using it for a year and it's a great video camera. But if IBIS is a no-go for you, well then you might want to consider the competition, the Nikon ZR. It's going to be announced on November the 10th, exactly one day after Canon's announcement. And according to Andrea Pizzini, it will have some red tech in it. It has the same Nikon Z6 Mark III partially stacked sensor. But unlike the C50, the Nikon ZR will have IBIS. Other specifications include 6K All Intra or 6K All I. It's going to have dual card slots, and if you're thinking CF Express Type B and an SD card slot, you'd be thinking wrong. In fact, it's going to have an SD card slot, and no, not another SD card slot, but a micro SD card slot. Yeah, I know, that's interesting, right? Well, Andrea Pizzini said, look, his source is sure about this. We're getting an SD card slot and a micro SD card slot, and this won't be the first camera to do that. Now, this is very interesting as we're starting to see more specifications come out for each camera, each one being announced the day after the other, and I get a sense that the Nikon ZR and the Canon EOS C50 are going to be very similar cameras, but they might be taking a slightly different, well, viewpoint or a slightly different path. One thing I want to mention, because we're just a few days away from the announcement, if you are interested in getting either one of these, I get a sense that they're going to sell very quickly. Nikon, from using red technology, their first mirrorless hybrid camera to have red technology in it, and once we find out what that red technology is, well, it could prove to be a big boon, so we'll just have to wait and see how that firms up. But if you're interested in pre-ordering, for example, the Canon the Canon C50, then please consider using my affiliate links down below, these guys right here, because these product links, these smart pre-order links, they really do help support this channel, allowing me to produce content like this, commercial-free, sponsorship-free. But you might be wondering, why on earth do I call them the smart pre-order links? Well, whenever you're buying from, let's say, Adorama or B&H, and you go to search on, well, the Nikon ZR, once it's announced, you'll see more than one option. You'll see body alone, you'll see any kit package that might be offered by Nikon. But what these retailers quite often do is sometimes they'll just throw in a free card reader and a card, or a camera bag at no extra cost, but it's a different SKU. Sometimes they'll throw in, well, I wouldn't say throw in lenses, but they package lenses, giving you the choice, more choice, than what Nikon offers you. And these smart pre-order links will list off everything, saving you time, so when you're ready to go ahead and click that pre-order button, you're good to go. One other thing about pre-ordering, if you are on the fence, whenever it comes to a major product launch, such as the Canon C50 or the Nikon ZR, I recommend pre-ordering even if you're on the fence, and do your homework, notice the shipping date, and if you decide it's not for you, cancel the pre-order before the shipping date. If you decide it is for you, well, then you'll be thankful that you've already done your pre-order and you're further into the queue, so you'll get yours before others. And if you're looking at pre-ordering the Canon EOS C50, I also have the smart pre-order links for that one there, that and the Nikon ZR in the comment section down below. And I think did I just talk about the C50 being in the comment section down below? But either way, I've got both cameras there. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, Simon, why on earth are you wearing a Nikon top? Well, quite simply because we're talking about the Nikon ZR. And when I started this video, it was just about the Nikon ZR, but then I realized this is not a two video. We're not trying to create two videos here. These two cameras are very similar, and that IBIS was a perfect tie-in. I get a sense that the Canon EOS C50 is going to be a very popular camera. Now, not having IBIS will be a poo-poo for some, but the R5C didn't have IBIS either, and it turned out to be a big seller. I think it's going to be a very solid camera. It has Opengate. Sony doesn't do Opengate, and this is what's really surprising to me because Sony led the field for years. And now we don't hear too much about Sony other than, well, here's another camera based on the A7S III. What we keep hearing is, wow, what is Nikon doing with red technology? Here's another camera. And we keep hearing about Canon. We're not hearing as much about Sony lately. So Opengate, that's a big thing for Canon in the C50, and even if it doesn't have IBIS, that Opengate is going to really open up a lot of doors. And with the Nikon ZR, and that is the name, it's confirmed that it's going to be called the Nikon ZR, I'm really curious to see what sort of red technology it has in it. Now, in terms of resolution, I forgot to go over this because I've covered this in previous videos. The Canon C50 is going to have a resolution of 32 megapixels. It's going to be a full-frame sensor, and most likely the same sensor that's going to show up in the Canon EOS R6 Mark III. The Nikon, well, we've heard of this resolution many times before. I like 24 megapixels. And the Nikon ZR, it's going to have 24 megapixels, the same, partially stacked sensor. Again, I did mention that, the same partially stacked sensor as is in the Nikon Z6 Mark III. So, yeah, that's interesting. I'm really curious to see what happens. Now, this is just the start of September. Because Labor Day was very early in the month, we're hitting hard with a couple of announcements this week, and Canon isn't done. They've already said that September's a good month or something to that effect, indicating that it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 punch. So yes, C50 now. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop some other lenses. Oh, and I already put a video out earlier today talking about the couple of lenses that Canon is announcing alongside the C50. Another VCM lens, this time also a 1.4, this time the 85mm. Now what's really good about this announcement, I can tell you already, it's going to be a whole lot lighter than the 1.2 version of the 85mm. And from what I can tell you from using VCM lenses, they are terrific. They, obviously optically, the bokeh and all that, I don't even have to tell you, the 1.2 is going to be better. But for most situations, you're going to love the f1.4 to the point where while I shoot all these videos with the f1.2 for the Canon 50mm on the RF mount, when it comes to my favorite 50mm, it's actually the 1.4 VCM. I just love that lens. It's lighter. In terms of the minimal focus distance, it's about, 6 inches shorter? Which makes a huge difference when I'm doing product photography or videography. And it's silent. And that little noise that people say you hear when it's not in use, it's really minor. It's nothing. And when it's powered on, you don't hear it. So we're going to get that lens, the 85mm, on Tuesday. And Canon's also, according to Canon rumors, they use a lot of should, could, is most likely, and anything can change. But they also said we're getting a 11 to 55mm RFS, so that's for their APS-C cameras. It will still work on cameras like the R5, Mark I, Mark II, but 2 lenses. So I think that's 2 lenses. We're probably going to get another 2 to 4 lenses from Canon this year, and one of those is supposed to be the 300 to 600mm, and I've got a video of that coming out probably midweek. We've got some new information on it. It's proving to be an interesting lens. Anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in, for watching this video, for supporting this channel. If you do use my smart pre-order links down below for the Nikon ZR or the Canon C50, thank you. But transparency, I get anywhere from 2 to 5% back. And again, this channel is viewer supported. You're helping keep the channel on the air. I don't like doing sponsorships. I think it really ruins it on other channels. And if you are paying YouTube, the great thing about watching my content, you never ever see any commercial or sponsorship. If you're getting it free, well, then yes, you do have to tolerate the YouTube ads. And I got to tell you, this is not a plug for YouTube. You would expect that I make money for them. They give me a free account, but they don't. Since I started paying for YouTube, I watch it a whole lot more and I find the content a whole lot more enjoyable until I come across those channels that have 5-minute sponsorship ads. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching to the end, for subscribing, for liking. We'll see you again soon. Most likely very soon. I expect to have another video out within 12 to 18 hours. Cheers. Bye-bye. Actually, before you go, I almost forgot to show you this blurry image of the Canon EOS C50 head on. And of course, we have this image leaked by Canon. These two images clearly show a dedicated red record button that's located on the top front, or the nose of the camera. And this is common in cinema cameras. These two images clearly show a dedicated red record button that's located on the top front, or the nose of the camera, and this is common in cinema cameras. We have a top control dial just behind the record button, and the hot shoe? Well, it's on a flat top that tells us we're not getting an EVF. Well, not exactly, folks. We're going to get an EVF as an accessory, but this is common with cinema cameras. They don't have an EVF in the same style architecture as a stills hybrid camera, which is built right into the camera, always in that one spot. Videographers, depending on what they attach to their cameras, can have the EVF come out to the side, to the top, or have a bit of a snake-like, well, placement. So I'm expecting we'll see an EVF, but it's going to be an accessory. And unfortunately, it's not going to be $99, but it's probably going to be a little bit pricey. I would suspect somewhere above $400 to $1,000. On the right, we can detect a grip that's designed to be handheld friendly. The mount is obviously RF. And finally, we can see a red tele light on the rear right of the top plate clearly glowing in the teaser. Okay, I want you to take another close look at these two images, and I want you to tell me, is there anything else that you can see in there? Can you detect something else that Canon's trying to convey to you through their image, or do you find it in the leaked image? Did you see it? Well, it's quite simple. What Canon's trying to show us through their image is quite simply that the C50 is designed as a video-first camera, a handheld camera. And that's the same with the leaked image. They're not showing us some sort of killer capabilities. This is a video-centric. This is I hesitant to say cinema, even though it's got the C in front of it. That will determine the types of menu systems and frame rates and all that sort of stuff, codecs. But in terms of who it's aimed at people who, like me, shoot video most of the time. And it's designed as handheld, not as part of a larger rig system. Oh, and that hot shoe, again, it's most likely built around Canon's multifunction hot shoe, even though this camera is probably going to get the autofocus system from the cinema line versus the latest autofocus system from the R5 II. Although I wonder, will I get Canon's new Digic accelerator chip? Or is that reserved for the, well, stills hybrid line and not the cinema line? Well, we'll find out on Tuesday. Now, as far as Wednesday goes, that's when the Nikon ZR is supposed to be announced. We don't have the exact time right now, and that is why I'm unable to tell you if we're going to be providing live coverage at this point, because I need to know the time to be able to book time off, and things are really busy here in September, not just in the camera world, but at my office. And if we get further into Monday and I don't know the time, unfortunately, as much as I want to, I won't be able to provide live coverage. And that's one of the biggest challenges I have in doing this channel. Whenever I know about events coming up, I try to schedule time off ahead of time. And that's why when we get a notification of a week or two, it's terrific. Or if they happen around midnight my time, that's fine too, because I can stay up late and cover it. But when they happen around 10 o'clock in the morning, which is prime stuff goes on, it leaves me with a bit of a situation. I can't sacrifice my day job. In the day, that has to be my primary focus. All right, the dog's barking upstairs, so I want to say thank you so much for watching this video, watching it to the very end. And if you're looking at pre-ordering the Canon EOS C50 or the Nikon ZR using my links, thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. This channel wouldn't be where it is today, and most likely without your support, the lights would be off. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Most likely very soon. Don't be surprised if another video is coming out later today with pricing information on all the lenses and the camera bodies. Until then, cheers.